We're back.
All right, it's kind of odd. We got some people that we've been trying to get on the podcast for a while, so it's kind of weird seeing them here finally. You know, every time we get a new guest, it's kind of a trippy thing because it's kind of like we're being put on the spot for the product that we put out. You know?
Right.
So we got two. They're not avid listeners, but hopefully they'll be after this. So this is September 10th, 2024, and Dudes Like Us. I'm Sean.
I'm Paul.
I am Jeff.
I'm Stan.
I'm Nick.
And we're ready to rock and roll. I'm going to let, we've got our two guests. They're proprietors of a business in downtown McKinney called the Celt. And we're just going to ask some questions and let them talk about it. But I guess to start off with, do you guys have any questions regarding us?
No.
Yeah. So first-time listeners out there that have not ever listened to Dudes Like Us, basically we're three guys that grew up all over the planet, and we got together drinking and being stupid. All of our kids went to Centennial High School in downtown or in Frisco, and so we kind of met organically through that, and we started drinking beer together and hanging out and going to like little parties and things. And we're so goofy, and we have such good chemistry and we're solid friendship. I mean, really, we count on each other like a true brotherhood. And when we get together, we just babble and have so much fun. People had said, I mean, you guys ought to do a podcast. And, you know, I have all the sound equipment. And I was like, all right, well, let's just dabble in that.
Not,
we had a couple beers and set some stuff up. And then we started doing it.
Right.
And then we started turning it up, you know, more and more. And then we made some investments. And my son, Austin, our producer, he came up with the name. Just kind of out of Dudes Like Us. We're like, that kind of sticks. So we talk about life. That's basically what the podcast is about. We talk about life. We, normal thresholds, taking your kids to school in the mornings, taking them to college if you're at that age, and retiring, your first prostate check, anything and everything. You know, whatever you have to go through in life that you share, that Dudes Like Us go through. We try to look at that. You know? So, anyways, we got Stan and Nick from the Celt, and how did you guys start that out? I mean, because I know Nick was there first, and then you jumped in a little bit later. Is that accurate?
Yeah, Sean. I actually spent like over 30 years in banking and retired as a region president with U.S. Bank. But
did not know that.
Wow, you didn't know that?
No.
All right.
That was one of my biggest customers was U.S. Bank.
Really?
Yes.
Where are you from?
I worked so I did all of your bank refreshes.
Nice.
So when mergers and acquisitions would buy new banks, you'd go out there and gut them and put new IT equipment in there.
Okay.
My team, actually, it was me at the time. I'd buy all the equipment and get it staged for all the tech guys to install.
Yeah.
That's probably what drove you out of banking, his company.
Yeah. Could be.
We can get into that,
Jeff?
But yeah. I mean, I went to UTA and TCU and then started my banking career. I think we're all old enough here except Nick to remember Texas Commerce Bank.
Nick, how old are you?
Yeah.
35.
35. All right. Well, that's good, man.
Yeah.
That's solid.
I think he was born the year Texas Commerce Bank failed. If you remember those days. All the banks that weren't supposed to fail in Texas did. And so anyway, so I started a career there. And in 2000, I moved to Oregon and went to work for U.S. Bank and then finished up in St. Louis there as a region president. But when I turned 35, Nick's age, I knew that I'd always wanted to own an Irish pub.
Oh, wow.
And it'd be just like you guys. I'd go out with your fraternity brothers, and sit around and talk. Wouldn't it be great to do this? And I thought, I'm going to do it. And what really was the impetus for me doing that was traveling to Ireland my first, second, and third time, and sitting in a hotel room in Dublin by myself one night, and it was 2013.
They didn't have a red light district?
Dublin, no, that's Amsterdam.
Yes.
We'll talk about that later in the show. Okay.
that was the next trip you took.
That was 2014. We're
That was
kidding.
a long year.
We're kidding, guys. We're kidding.
Sure.
But anyway, so and I thought, I'm just going to do that. It was still 5 years after the 2008 crash, if you guys remember that.
Oh, yeah.
It changed everything in banking to where you could actually use to help people, and now you've got to fit a square peg in a square box. And so it just wasn't that much fun, and I thought, I'm going to do this and set a goal to do it, and I was going to do this by the time I was 50. And about a month shy of my 51st birthday, I left U.S. Bank. We called it early retirement. I don't know what it was, and then came back home to Texas from St. Louis to do this. And I tell you guys, it was a long process. My whole goal was to build a new Irish pub in Arlington, in downtown Arlington.
Okay.
And that didn't work out. And then we moved on to Grapevine and then something else. And life happens and things get in the way. And I thought, well, this is really a lot harder than I thought it was going to be.
Are you saying you started it in those places and
No.
they didn't go well, or you
No.
couldn't find a spot?
You just couldn't make the project work. You couldn't,
Gotcha.
You couldn't work out good terms with the landlord, or you couldn't get the TI prepared.
It couldn't get off the ground.
It couldn't get off the ground.
Gotcha.
You couldn't just work it out, and became very frustrated. And actually, for a short time there, I thought about going back into banking. And a buddy of mine that was also a banker and a fraternity brother of mine said, came over and gave me one of those talks. It's like, you just can't give up. You're one of those guys that just doesn't give up. What are you doing giving up? And he goes, and by the way, there's this little English pub in McKinney that's for sale. Yeah, and
I was happy when you converted. By the way,
I'm a Fort Worth boy. I mean, that's my tractor parked out front, Sean. So he goes McKinney. I've never even been to McKinney. We would drive through McKinney once or twice as we were kids up to Texoma. And so me and my fraternity brother Mark and my brother-in-law Bruce, we took the Saturday night, 2013, right before Christmas, and opened the door once we found downtown McKinney and just fell in love with the place. And it was like, when you fall in love at first sight, that's what it was like for me with the Celt. And it was actually Churchill's at the time. And
so it's an older.
Yeah, I think it was.
yeah.
I think, Nick, it was Churchill's. I've had it for 11 years.
I mean, shoot, in the late 1800s, it was a brothel.
Yeah, called Rambo's.
Yeah.
Rambo's.
Yeah,
So-
it's named after me.
When did that close?
Fell in love with the place. One of the owners almost kicked me out for drinking too much scotch at the evening, but it was Christmas, So no, I'm kidding. But we had a great time, and I thought, this is it. I'm going to make this happen. And the moral of the story is, I was going to build a pub that may have never worked, and was able to buy one for half of what I thought.
That was already built.
That was already built.
Great.
It needed some work, obviously. And obviously, we converted it over to Irish as soon as we could, and became the Celt instead of Churchill's. But it was just a fantastic experience. And I remember my first Sunday, I think I bought it on a Thursday, and Sunday was Mother's Day. And you're laughing at this. And we had gone out to the dump and bought a lot of new furniture for the place too, because I was like all in. It's like, spend some money, fix this place up. And the place is just packed. It's just packed. And half the staff doesn't know me. And I had zero restaurant experience, guys. Nothing.
Good Lord.
Oh wow! Talking about
Nick,
jumping
were you there at the time?
Yeah. It was a mess.
It was
a mess.
I mean, it's like Mother's Day for us is not our day. I mean,
and the dump just decides to deliver all the furniture on a Sunday too. Right?
Everything's everything's rolling in. Stan's kind of like, no one's really got a chance to know Stan. He's like,
First time they've ever met me.
Yeah, he's
you're the new
ex-bank,
owner. Yeah, you're a banker.
Dude, it was seamless. You just were there one day.
No, it was a nightmare.
Stan, I will give you credit here. Like, I mean, to be blunt, like in the service industry, like there's always a talk about you got the industry who builds a place up and then sells it to somebody, and that person comes in with not a whole lot of like service industry experience, and then I kid you not, that Mother's Day Sunday, we ran out of eggs, we ran out of syrup, we ran out of it was for some reason we got slammed. But I kid you not, I think this was big thing for me, man. Stan was out there actually busting tables and wiping them off. I mean,
nice.
His former bank president is out there
he was all in
hand.
there.
Yeah.
And if you remember, I fired a staff member during that too.
Oh yeah.
She was like, "You don't know what you're doing." She goes, "I don't like working here," and I go, "See you."
Yeah.
We'll deal with it tomorrow.
And you're like, and she's like, "You can't do that. Who are you?"
I got this DEI thing. I'll show you right now.
No, that was before DEI.
But Sean and Nick knows this too. It's like, whatever, it can't be so bad forever, because there is a closing hour. You're going to get through this somehow, and then deal with it tomorrow. But yeah, it was, but it made a lot of friends that day, and it was amazing time.
Made a lot of friends. I mean, you got some respect. I mean, it was like, I mean, it was a day that was kind of watching like that. It was a turning point. It was like, you're with us, you're not with us. And since then we've grown substantially.
Actually, that's a slow Sunday now.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I tell you what,
Great.
I have a love-hate relationship with the Celt. I love to go,
Yeah.
but I hate to fucking be there because
Yeah.
it is so fucking packed.
Crowded.
Every time I
that's
go
a
to the
good
bar,
problem.
I'm just like, what the fuck, man? Every time I feel like I'm going to have to take someone out.
Yeah.
No, it's
I
never.
think you did one time.
No, I've never done that. I've never gone to a party there. ever.
Sean has never done that. No.
No, I go there, have a couple drinks. Hopefully, I'm super happy, and I think that's the.
Well, that's
my-
a good
my-
problem to have.
Yeah,
to a
that's
lot
about
of people
it.
there.
The drunker
Well-
I get, the more giddy I get.
And the thing is, in this industry, I mean, it's typical to see a restaurant, turn over, even with the same management. They change the name and they change the look because it's just not taken off.
Irish pubs are timeless.
Right,
Yeah, they're
right.
timeless. Yeah.
Okay, you don't have to do anything. You just kind of roll with what's working.
They had the cycle too of their ups and downs, and we're in a little bit of a down
Yeah.
cycle for Irish pubs now. But the
Yeah,
Celt,
but you got like things going on, like your routine programs you got, your music. Well, first of all,
Yeah, we do
your
music.
Sunday brunch. I
We
mean,
do
you have a
music.
restaurant side of stuff.
music 7 times a week, and open mic, and trivia, and a couple of Irish sessions, and
So talk about your clientele though.
I mean, I was gonna say like we were painting outside a few weeks ago, and we had the old slogans on the front that were like it was like great food, or amazing drinks, great food, and I was just like, I mean, we got good food. I'm not saying we don't have good food, but like as much as we got great drinks, I was like the thing that I always hear about is people are like, man, we were having an okay night, and then we just went to the Celt. I was like, every story I hear. Like every time someone finds out I work at the Celt, they're like, "Oh man, I got a story for you." So I said, "You know what? Scratch the food part. Let's just put great
stories.
drinks, amazing stories."
Yeah.
And I think
that's
that
good.
is what makes Irish pub so timeless. Is people come there and like the clientele, whether you're, I pride myself on this, whether you're 91 or 21, you can share a pint at the Celt's bar top, and you'll make friends. Like and
Yep.
people, I meet people.
There's not a lot of assholes there. I mean, there's
In a really chill
there are
environment,
some
right?
fraternity brothers that go in there and get a little kind of silly, and then next thing you know, they may be acting silly, but 99% of the time I'm there.
yeah, it's always the Ohio State fans. What's up with that?
Right, there you go.
That'd be me.
There you go. But okay, so I was asking about the clientele. I mean,
probably
they're
true.
not all Irish. I mean, it's not like it's
No.
But I kid you not, like the amount of people I know that are like that I walk up to and I get to know, and then I'm like, they seem like they've known each other for 10, 20 years. I'm like, oh, y'all must have went to school together. Y'all, oh no, we met back room playing pool about 2 years ago. And I'm like,
Awesome.
oh,
Yeah.
It's the cliche Cheers concept where, you can go to a place where everybody knows your name. And it sincerely is that feel that you get when you go inside the Celt. Every time I go there, and I've been going there since 2014. It may be once, twice
Yeah,
prior to that.
I've known you 10 years.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it
is.
is.
And I love going there. I brought all my kids there. I'm not proud of it, but I got shit faced there with my son right there, and I had to make him drive home, which was bittersweet. I was thankful he got us home and I got to have fun, but I brought up my other kids there. So it's just like, I got my youngest and my oldest, where all of them have been there with me. When we were building out Filtered, it was like, because I would work late, and I was thankful because you guys were open till like midnight, and I'd show up and I'd have like 2 or 3. Back then, our diets have changed as far as alcoholic beverages go. We went from having beer, and then I want the strongest shit that you make in beer, which is the Imperial Stout, and now we're kind of like in a new different phase of this where we're drinking our bourbon and whiskeys. It's similar like that. But I remember going there every single night, and after I got done, I was all nasty because I had gypsum from, we're building out Filter. So that was my thing. That's how it started. But there were some different owners back at that time. And then overnight, you were there.
Yeah.
And it was kind of seamless. There was a guy that kind of reminded me, I'm going to say Scrooge McDuck, but it's not because I think he's a duck or Scrooge. It's because of his accent. He's got a Scottish accent. It was a shorter gentleman with long hair, charismatic.
Oh, yeah.
What was his name?
Billy. He was our general manager from 2014 to 2019.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I enjoyed walking because I'd see him walking down. I'd say hi to him, and I didn't know if he was part. I didn't know who owned the Celt or what the deal was, and I didn't know what you guys did, and I kind of stayed out of it. I met Mitt a handful of times, but we never really talked. So I was like, "Fuck, man, I'm here." And when I was up there and I was running the Filtered, that's one of my biggest disappointments is that I hadn't talked to you more often and get to know you, because it was
We
so
talked
busy.
a lot, Sean. You just don't remember.
No, I remember.
Yeah.
I remember talking to
Those
you,
are
but not
drunk
with Nick.
nights.
Okay, with
Yeah,
Nick.
every time it's been at the
it's Nick
Celt.
I was referring to. I remember talking to
Okay.
you.
We talked quite a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I remember every time.
Because you guys were literally right across the street.
So when you bought the Celt, you said you converted it over to an Irish What does that mean, Irish pub? Converting that over.
Oh, what'd you kick out of the bar?
Yeah, well, there is a difference. I mean, when you walk in, and you may not notice it right away, but I think what's hanging on the walls, obviously, is going to be Irish centered, and
Sure.
for people that know the 800 years of English oppression that the Irish experienced, and I mean, there's a lot of history there too.
Right.
Sure.
And but mainly it's about the crack. The Irish have the word crack, CRAIC, which basically means what goes on in a pub. It could be gossip, it could be talking politics, it could be watching sports. It basically means you're just having a good time. You're having a crack, or the crack is 90. That means it's really, really, really intense. But really, I think what really separates us, and those things are important too, it's the music. We have music 7 times a week, and we do as much Irish music, Irish rock.
Do you do the
Irish trad.
Tuesday night where everyone brings in?
Well, Tuesday night's open mic for us too, and that's very popular for us.
Wednesday's the session now.
Wednesday session,
Oh,
Sunday
okay.
afternoon session.
I always enjoyed that, man.
Yeah.
They play like Celtic
Yeah.
music, and someone will bring
all
their own
traditional.
instrument, and they get out there. I love that.
Anybody who wants to show up Wednesday evenings can do that. That's an open session. On Sundays, we have a closed session, which is more professional players, but both are really good.
Nice.
And we've been doing that for 10, 11 years now as well.
Yeah, I really enjoy the music. That's one thing that you don't get in a lot of. You get live music, but I think the Irish music is unique, and I really sit back and you can sit back and listen to it and enjoy it because it's not something you hear every single day.
Yeah,
Right. It's not the mainstream pop music,
yeah.
right?
Well, and of course we do cover bands, and we do country as well. Not as much country because, frankly, you can throw a rock and hit a honky tonk in Texas.
Right.
So, but I mean, we try to find it. So I learned in economics 101 many years ago at TCU. I remember my professor said the way you succeed in business is. Tell them, Nick, how do you do it? You find a niche.
Exploit the hell out of it.
And exploit the hell out of it. So somebody came in and it's like, Stan, why are you doing Irish music? Nobody's going to listen to this. He was like 2% of the people's going to listen to it in North Texas. And I said, well, that's 250,000 people.
Exactly.
So
Right.
A small percentage of a giant
That's right.
number is a big number.
And you can't be everything to everybody.
That's right.
Yeah, and you guys have separated the men from the boys with your establishment. I mean, really, a quantum leap being
Thanks, Sean.
recognized not only locally but across the planet.
Nick, tell them about our awards.
Yeah,
I mean, start with the city of McKinney Online.
I'll flex a little bit. Yeah, we're like we've won multiple winners for best venue, music venue, best pub or nightlife.
I think like 9 years in a row.
9 years in a row.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
We've and then we've done a couple really big ones actually. I mean, we've done some things that are, well, to be honest, are for a pub our size are. So it's like we've won the city awards, and then we've actually won some international awards. I mean, and to be blunt as can be, we've also had some insane numbers when it comes to products, which I'll talk about in a second. But the back of what Stan was saying about honky tonks and everything. In 2018, we won Best Irish Whiskey Pub in North America.
Wow.
From Irish Pubs Global.
Wow.
And then in
That's amazing.
It is.
In 2019, we won Best Irish Pub in North America. And
in the Americas.
In the Americas. In the
South.
North
Of course,
and
I think there's only like 3 in South America.
But you think Irish
not a lot of
pubs-
competition.
No, there's a
Like
lot more than that in
opportunity.
South America.
You think there'd be a lot out in like San
There-
Francisco
there-
or New
we
York and all kinds of
we
stuff.
were up against them all.
Yeah.
And I asked him, I said, hey man, like, it's just, I mean, I've been to several of the pubs that we were in the finalists with. And I was like, I mean, these are like Black Rose Boston, Dead Rabbit New York. I mean, these are
They're
like
legendary.
these are some of the best like pubs ever.
Dude, that's tight.
And I'm like, how did we win? He goes, man, I'll be real with you. He's like, you're in the heart of North Texas. There are honky tonks in every corner.
Right.
He's like, and you tried to do what couldn't be done. Y'all tried to be an Irish pub in back country pretty much.
Yeah.
And you're killing it.
Yeah, you are.
We have our sister pub over in Dublin that we've sent staff members to work at, and vice versa. We've built that reputation about our Guinness, which I was going to say for strictly numbers, we're Diageo. They own Guinness. We're their number one account in the southern region. Not in Dallas,
wow.
not in
For Guinness.
Austin, not in a downtown city. We're in the burbs of North Texas, man, and we're
Right.
crushing it. Like
Right.
I know Carlsberg's not like an Irish thing, but we're Carlsberg's 8th account in the country.
That's because it's
number
green.
8.
The bottle is
And I mean,
Right. I mean, to your point, on the East Coast, there's like a massive Irish,
yeah.
yeah,
Massive.
we,
a massive Irish, following.
Yeah, there's
and
more-
it's a lot easier for them to. They're seeking out an Irish pub.
I mean, you can,
Right?
I mean, it's like, and don't get me wrong, East Coast is great, but there are so many. I mean, it's it's so easy to find a really good Irish pub on the East Coast, and that's just because they got the infrastructure. I mean, they got the great old buildings, they got the culture,
And there's more Irish in Boston than there are in Dublin. Yeah.
Right, and that's my point. That's my point. On the East Coast, I mean, you're drawing from an Irish, immigration, group that is like seeking out the pub because that's what they're used to, as opposed to you guys drawing in.
And we get a lot of Irish holidays. I mean, a lot of real Irish people.
I mean, you know, how many people come in. This is my favorite compliment about the Celt from like Irish proper. They're like, "Hey, man, it's not Ireland, but damn, it's close." And I'm like, you know what? I'll take it. I will take it. We're in North Texas right now, and I got Irish proper telling me that I'm the closest thing that they got outside.
It's super cool.
That's this side of the Atlantic. Like, hell yeah, I'll take it.
That's awesome.
You
That's
should.
a huge win for you guys.
You should, and proudly. Like I said, there's nothing like it. There's every time I travel, if I had an opportunity to go to the East Coast, and first I'm from the East Coast, but every time I travel, I Google Irish bars. And that's where I go.
And there's always one.
Yeah, there's always one.
Well, he thought New Jersey was just the greatest place in the world.
Oh, they've got some amazing pubs.
I was walking around with a heart on the entire time I was out there because I'd be like, Irish bar, and it'd be like, walk 500 feet on the right. I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, no, New Jersey does it right, Sean. There's some amazing pubs there. Amazing.
Yeah, I had a good time I was down there, but there's something to be said about it. It's a little bit more. I mean, is Cheers technically an Irish bar, or is it just a bar in downtown Boston?
It's not an Irish bar. It's just it's actually a little bit out of downtown Boston. I was there just last June, and it's not a big place. It's about as big as this living room here. But,
Isn't that funny?
But it's got the same feel and crack as an Irish pub does.
And one thing that we love is they not only love people coming to our place, but like another crazy number. We've had over 500 of our regulars make it to the Celt in Dublin. I mean, it's
a pilgrimage.
We call it a pilgrimage. It's a pretty substantial amount. When you think of like how many people from downtown McKinney or like McKinney area have made it to
win the lottery of those numbers.
Another place. I mean, we have been at the Celt in Dublin with other people from McKinney. Like, I mean, like holy shit!
You literally recognize them there.
Yeah. Hell, actually, the first time me
That's
and
insane.
Stan were in Dublin together in 2016. We were at a pubs conference, and we were in Temple Bar, which is like, I mean, it's Temple. It's like clusterfuck. It's like so many people, and we are sitting by a table, and Stan has to go to the bathroom, and he asked this group if we can put his beer on their table, and they recognize we have an American accent, and they're like, "Oh, where are you from?" And so it's like Texas, and he's like, "Oh, we're in Texas. Oh, McKinney. Oh, we're at the Kel." He's like, "Oh, my sister goes there," and I mean, we are like.
That's insane.
Like, I mean, of all the places we could have been in Dublin, all tables could have been in. We've met someone who knew Stan from across the ocean.
Yeah. And those are the moments where you realize the dream is true.
Yeah.
Like you're making connections that you were hoping basically for.
Yeah, well, wherever we go, whether we're getting our hair cut or we're in the hot tub at Choctaw, people know.
Is that at the same time? You get a haircut in the hot tub?
Yeah, you've made it.
Walk
Stan.
us through this, Stan.
No.
Yeah, when you're getting your hair cut in a spa, you've done it.
Hi, my name is Fabio. I'm here for the haircut.
But anyway, we always meet somebody that's been to the Celt. Always.
That's cool. Let me. I wanted to share my impression because I don't go to a lot of Irish bars. One thing I loved about that bar, and maybe that's indicative of all. Thanks, man. Of all Irish pubs, is how compartmentalized it is. Yeah. Meaning you've got an area. You got the beautiful bar. By the way, beautiful bar top. Then you have this little couch area that's kind of off to the to the side there. Yeah. Then you got these high tables that are kind of secluded on the side. Yeah. Meanwhile, you got the main tables on the stage, but behind the wall, you got the darts and the pool table. Everything is. It's almost like if you had if Elon Musk was your best friend and he invited you and your friends over and he had a mansion where every room had a different thing going on. That's the feeling I got walking into the bar.
And then the downstairs bar will give you even a totally different feel.
Exactly.
If you want it to be
the
more
downstairs
chill.
bar is kind of like a redhead stepchild. Dude, people don't give it enough attention. It's just it.
For people that don't want the loud crowds or the busy or the music, it's a little more chill atmosphere.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's different.
Yeah. I like it. I like it when I had to get away.
The staircase is badass, man.
Oh, the staircase.
I know that's stupid, but that's super cool.
How dangerous
it's
are
part of
those
the sobriety
staircases?
test program.
I was just saying, how dangerous are those?
Hey, shockingly, and I've been there for almost 12 years. I've only seen. Can I say this?
But just no names. No names.
No names.
Sure.
I don't care.
Okay, I mean we've had. Okay. Is this?
Well, we can delete it. Doesn't matter.
No. Is this?
That's the internet. Yes.
Yeah, so-
Yeah. Have him
you're
look
not-
up something.
You're not going to do that.
I'm just going to show him the video.
Oh,
Y'all
okay.
can see the video.
Yeah. Have
Look
him
it
put
up,
up
look
the
it
video.
up.
What's
Can I
he
pass
Say
looking
Nick
for?
falling down
Can I
Celt
patch
stairs.
this- no, can I patch this video
Well, to
to
tell the
you?
guy it wasn't a slide.
Did you get on a piece of cardboard first?
Darn. And then you got, do y'all got,
This was after hours.
It's those little things.
do you got AirPlay on this? What do you got?
I don't think it works. We're not going to be able to do that. It's,
don't do that.
Okay, I'm just going to show you.
and we don't have video anyways.
Yeah, there's no video, Nick. So.
All right, so
I'm just going to show
All right.
you.
Nick has shown us a video.
talk about it,
and
yeah.
he's at the top of the stairs.
Oh,
I noticed.
Ready for it? Ready for it? Better angle.
Oh wow!
No.
Oh wow!
That
So,
was you?
Have you ever seen the episode of Friends?
I thought that was you.
I come running down, dude. I kid you not. So I'm like, it's a Sunday. It's dead. Dude walks up, has one pint. And
Dude,
he's
looks like your
he's
penis got,
I gotta
like,
go,
cut
I'm
off
gonna go
and
outside,
put
smoke
in your back pocket.
smoke. And I was like, yeah, it's cool. And we're sitting up the stairs, and then all I hear is duh, 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 duh. And they're like, dude, someone just fell down the stairs. And I'm like, okay. And
So you were sober?
No, I was bartending. That wasn't me. That was. So I run down. I was like, all I see is fucking broken glass and blood everywhere. And I'm like,
Dude, he went head first.
bro, I'm like, what's going on here? And I like walk out. I'm like, there's no body. I'm like, where's this dude at? And I fucking walk outside, and this dude has his buddy's shirt wrapped around his face. He has a notch on his nose for every step he hit. And I'm like, hey. And he's like, what? I'm like, are you okay? He's like, yeah, what's up?
Oh, so that wasn't you?
No.
Oh,
that guy bounced his face off of every
bro,
step.
Oh,
bro, you just take it
God.
down the stairs. He goes,
It looked awful.
fine, man. I'm good.
walk it off.
You know the beauty of this? There's no way he wanted to admit that happened.
No.
Which means there's no way he's going to ever
Totally
sue.
embarrassed.
He'll
Yes.
never sue.
We held the video
Because
we
who wants
talked,
to admit that, right?
We held the video for like 3. We didn't release it for a while, and then like years go by, and like I get a message from someone from like on like one like Barstool Sports or something, one of those.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, it's live, and I was like, what's live? And I see the I'm like, oh my god, it's just like this video. I'm like, oh god, I am hopefully this guy, but yeah, nothing bad happened. But yeah, that was like the most
actually,
viewed.
he was fine. We didn't know
How many years ago was that?
Oh, 7 or 8 years. Yeah,
Oh, good deal. I don't know what the statute of
So he went
limitations are.
viral. So that video went viral or what?
I don't know.
Hey, that's good.
They've got
By
it,
the way, that's good. That's good pub,
they got it on the little website. The dumb ways to die.
right?
Yeah.
Dumb
People
ways
ask
to
me about
die.
it sometimes. Like, I'm like, no, and since then to be honest, in 12 years I've seen 4 people, and none of them have fallen from the top. It's always been like they miss like the almost the end step
Unbelievable.
or something.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, good for you. I mean, because I've been up there, and I have left the Celt a few times, a little less than sober.
A little tipsy.
A few times.
Just saying, don't quote me on that, but I remember going down the steps. I'm like, God bless. This is rather
Well, you're
precarious,
extra
man.
careful. I
Yeah.
think.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like I'm kind of like, I need to focus on this one going
Yeah,
down.
that dragon's milk has gotten us a couple times.
Oh,
But hey,
the dragons. What is it called? The Imperial Dragons.
Oh Jesus! I mean, best thing that ever came out of Michigan, right? So,
Oh, jeez.
here we go. Well, I thought you hated Michigan.
Oh,
Why?
Yeah.
Dragon's milk is good.
Dearborn.
I like Michigan, by the
Yeah.
way. Yeah.
Oh, I love Michigan.
So
Yeah, but anyway, I think we'll talk about some other videos. Let's talk about our haunted history. Oh,
yeah.
geez.
I mean,
yeah.
so
there's like a ghost running around.
Okay, yeah. So the place, I think 1860, it was a wooden structure. It burned, and they rebuilt it in the 1885 or something.
That is
Became the
amazing.
Rambo Saloon. And there's 4 or 5 ghosts. Nick doesn't like to talk about
I
it.
don't.
but-
I don't.
So,
real?
first of all, how
Yeah.
many experiences how many times has it occurred?
Okay,
Oh.
I'll just give a blanketed statement over this whole situation. So this building has a weird history. I mean, it's old. I mean, the James Kane, Jesse James himself was inside the building before he left McKinney to go get killed. I mean, last time he was in Texas, he was at downtown McKinney before he shipped off to was it Arkansas where he got killed? Missouri we got killed.
Who did that?
Jesse James.
Oh shit, the
Yeah,
Jesse James.
The Jesse James. There was a lot of people. This
They
was
say
a-
Bonnie and Clyde stopped by.
Yeah, this was a saloon and brothel. It burnt down, and then it was rebuilt. And they supposedly I don't know. They don't know the whole history, but we do know a couple things to be fact. The last public hanging, when the last public how do I say this nicely? The non like, hey, this man committed a crime, we're going to hang him. This last public lynching. I don't want to.
There we go. No,
we don't care. He shoot from the hip.
The last public lynching was on our patio, and it was botched. They did capture the guy. His head rolled inside.
Oh yeah.
And then,
that's hot.
and then there
The stain
was
is still there, right?
That was a
I'm curious. Do you know what they did it for?
I don't know, but I know it was a saloon and brothel, and before it burnt down, there was a movement in McKinney, and they closed up the 2 brothels.
Was it like Black Lives Matter? What kind of movement?
No, I think it was more of a prohibitionist thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And pretty much what the rumor was they actually boarded the girls up and killed them all. They killed all the prostitutes inside the building. Like they
inside.
The
Good
building.
Lord.
And then lit it on fire. That's why the top floor burnt down. The bottom floor didn't burn down. Only the top floor.
Okay, you know what you're doing here. You're setting up a background for tons of haunting going on.
Yeah.
All right, so what?
Well, with Halloween coming up,
what have you seen? What
seems germane?
It's just stuff that happens.
What? Like the glasses move?
Oh no, they blow up.
Well, it was a brothel.
Are you being dead
Oh
serious?
yeah. I've got the video.
We
on
have
my
videos
phone.
of like glasses flying off the rack. There was, you know what? You've been to Celt, look in the bar, the wine glasses. And stuff like that.
They're hanging there.
I've seen a whole row pop.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Not kidding. Late night. You want to
I would
talk?
shit myself.
Dude, my hair's standing up right now.
Dude, it was a brothel. I would be like citing Chance, being like, "Please treat me right," you know, like the way a brothel should.
Well, one of the ghosts, and we.
I mean, it's not cheating if it's a ghost.
Yeah, why can't there be a haunting where a hand slips down your pants, right? Why can't that be a haunting?
Because it's a different world we live in.
Right. Damn it, man.
Yeah, nowadays it'll go up your ass.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry. Too soon?
But anyway, one of the and we're outside of the Celt, so we can talk about this. I won't talk. Nick won't talk about it. Period. I won't.
Look,
but May, I think is her name May.
I don't like to fuck with it because, like, look, y'all got to go home at night. I got to lock the door.
You're the last one out of the building.
People are like, can we bring a Ouija board? I'm like, fuck no. We've all seen horror movies.
Okay,
this is how it starts.
Oh,
Do you know who gets
that's
fucked?
bad.
It's not it's not the kids that like bring it in and leave.
bad.
It's like the janitor at the night who's what's going on?
You're going to wake them up, and I got to mop up the closing, man. I'm the one that has to deal with the aftermath, assholes.
I got to close down.
I can tell you one thing, and you'll agree with this. Since we switched from English to Irish, they are a lot happier.
Oh,
the
that's
ghost,
a nice spin.
The ghosts
that's
are
a good spin. I mean, and like it's just an old building. You'll hear noises. You'll think you'll see stuff. I mean, there's a lot of corner of the eye stuff where you swear. Like, I mean, I had one. I had one last Thursday. I was closing up, and my guy was downstairs, and I could have swore he was upstairs. I was kind of in the bar doing stuff, and he was probably sitting like right corner of my eye, and I was like, Steven, I got to do this. Hey, man, we got to make sure we get there on this. I was just kind of talking aloud. I swear he was standing there, and I looked up, and it was like, and then it was poof gone. I was like, what the? And I thought he was messing with me, and I went downstairs, and Steven has his AirPods on. He's in the kitchen cleaning. I was like, how long you fucking been down here? He's like, I've been down here for the whole time. I was like, God.
Yeah.
I was just like, and
that happens reportedly a lot. I mean, there's a lot of phantom
Hauntings.
stuff. I mean, look, I'm a proponent to hauntings. I mean, I know Jeff has his opinions. He doesn't agree with it. And
I
Paul's,
don't either. I don't believe it. I
believe
this is a statement
there
I have
is
to
some
say.
sort of weird ether out there, and I don't know what it is.
This is my statement to say. People are like, do you believe it? And I was like, I believe in one thing that I think all of us at this table can agree upon. There are unknown parts of this world that are best left unknown. And I think that is a valid statement.
Yeah.
So I don't want to fuck with shit. I don't like people messing with stuff.
Yeah.
If there's unknown
I
stuff,
don't even know what
leave
that
it alone.
means. I don't even know what that means.
I mean, if there's if we
just leave it alone, right?
when it comes to history, there's so much that we don't know.
Well, Tony, I will show you something. Every time I will say something, that's bullshit, whatever about the ghost, something weird does happen.
Right. Something pops up.
So I'm being careful. I don't say anything inside the Celt to make it
For them to listen,
there
for
you
them
go.
to hear.
Yeah.
But Nick, you're going at it all wrong, man. Leave them a drink. That's all you got to do. You make a drink, leave it on the bar, and then go to bed.
This was kind of like you set up the night of Christmas cookies for Santa Claus.
Yes.
Well. Typically, one of the most interesting stories is that an old judge that used to work across the street at the courthouse, because you can see it. It's like 50 feet away from us.
Yeah.
And the old judge would go up there at lunch break and sit up at the top where the musicians play on the top floor and look out and have his lunch and have a beer, and he could still keep an eye on the courthouse.
There you go.
Yeah, but he's harmless. May is harmless. There's one mischievous one.
I mean, but like the amount of times, like
Is the mischief one that's the one that's pulling the
He's the one behind the
stemmed
bar.
glasses?
He's the one behind the bar.
I mean,
I see.
and to be honest, it's not like I'm not the only one that says this. The amount of random people who say stuff to me about it is kind of crazy. Like in the bar, like, hey, and we've had multiple people describe people's names that I've heard from like somebody completely different. Like
there's a real good video on YouTube that we did about the conning. You know, there's a couple of YouTube videos out there. If you
Well,
guys-
what time is your? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say you should have ghost hunters come out.
There you
I was
go.
just going to say that.
Oh, you have?
when was it we were on
what?
one of the cable shows?
well, we were, yeah.
Are you
I mean,
serious?
we at
Yeah,
one point
yeah.
were in like the top
Yeah.
50 most haunted in Texas.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And they came out with all the equipment and did all the
Oh
bullshit.
yeah, they've recorded
yeah.
stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, I just don't like to mess with it no more. But I
Yeah,
will
we just
say,
tell them
like,
no now, but they used to. Yeah.
you'll be shocked by like it's like that building. You're hearing like
Well, I'm
creaks
looking
and
for like the
stuff.
Sigourney Weaver Ghostbusters kind of thing going on.
none of
Yeah,
that
not
yet.
so much of that.
But
Zool?
Yeah.
I will tell you this. So when I was there, granted, I've been drinking. We were playing darts. Something was moving my darts.
Oh, come on.
No, they were all getting fucking competitive and shit. And I was like, guys, my dart is moving.
Yeah.
And I was pissed.
I flew
was pissed. I was like, I can't play darts here, guys.
I think it was the Guinness. Yeah.
It was it?
Yeah,
It might have
probably
been.
had everything.
It might have been.
And then like the office. So the old owner Cam's, it was an Asian food spot. The owner of Cam's, her bedroom was our office, and she died in there.
Oh God.
Yeah, so that is fact. That's another fact. That
How
she
long
did
ago was that?
I mean, the
Late
70s.
90s, early 80s?
80s,
Yeah, but still, that's enough. I mean,
Yeah.
look, in a huge package, the Celt has that. It's history. It's got everything moving forward. It's got the entertainment. It's a great deal. I congratulate you, Stan. It was a great purchase, and you've turned that thing around. Not only have you turned that business around, you've also kind of turned yourselves around. I'm not saying you weren't, but you've taken on a health crunch. Where you started exercising, and look, Ray's on board.
Yeah,
I'm happy to see Ray kind of like shape up a little bit. I'm happy as hell because I see people. I'm like, fuck. Even though I'm kind of a walking poster child of it.
Well, I tell you, I really believe that activity, health, going to the gym. Healthy diet, that's my problem.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Right.
But yeah, it's a big part of it.
That's everybody's challenge, right?
Nick has lost just, I don't know, in Ray, and it's like, I go every day of the week, and you go 4 or 5 times a week. Ray goes every day.
you're no homo. I mean, you're looking pretty good. I recall, there was a long fucking time
Part
ago.
of our
but-
life.
Yeah,
It
you
is.
were getting kind of bulbous, and I was kind of like, God bless you. Go, man. Nick,
Bulbous.
but- yeah.
So
Bulbous.
yeah, have you ever been called
well,
bulbous
his
before?
bulby.
When he got a colonoscopy. Yeah.
Oh, that
All
was
I'm-
it. So they took a lot of shit.
All
out
I'm
of you.
saying is that I saw Nick one time, and he was overweight, in my opinion, a little overweight. And then the next time I saw him, I was like, holy shit, who's this guy? And I was happy because I saw some Instagram posts, you guys working out all together, and I saw Ray, and he kind of shared a little bit that's what they're doing. Yeah, that's it. God bless.
All right, so what?
And there's something
so-
to be said about that.
So what's your routine? What do you do?
Well, just overall, it's a good culture that the Celt has,
We
trying
go-
to keep their people happy and healthy.
We go
And
every
healthy.
we go every day, Monday through Friday.
I mean,
every day at the gym.
I was
And
in a rough
yeah.
patch, and Stan had started before me, and saw some big strides in him, and then I was in a really kind of a weird spot mentally in my life and shit, and Stan was kind of like, I'm signing you for the fucking gym, and you're coming, and ever since then, it's been kind of there, and it was and now, I go 4 times a week, you go 5 times a week, Ray goes.
You're a
times
one-upper,
week.
huh?
Yeah.
And you do what? You do cardio? You do weights?
We do
What
cardio,
you-
metabolic weights. It's
It's
all
a trainer.
it's all one-on-one training.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah,
Oh, you got a
Yeah,
personal
man.
Yeah,
trainer.
we just do what they tell us to do. Yeah.
You know what? That's
I'm
brilliant.
gonna put
It
a
makes
plug
it so
out.
easy.
It's Infinity Personal Training in Allen and 75 Exchange. Amazing place. That is
Yeah.
life
Say it one more
changing. Infinity Personal Training. They're in Allen. On
Infinity personal
training.
personal training.
Yeah, they're at Exchange in Allen, right across from Pinstack.
Yeah,
They
so
just do
here's the
amazing
thing:
stuff.
if you are struggling with weight or diet or any of those things, and you don't know where to start, and you need support, and you need accountability,
Yeah, man. I mean,
Accountability.
and signing on with somebody that is like your one-on-one, and
Yes.
they care about you, like
Yeah.
they're waiting for you to show up, and they're like you said, you don't have to think. They have a whole plan for you.
They do it for you,
and they just walk it. There's
And
no better way to start, and then
it
you
is-
get going with it.
And
right?
it is intense. I mean, sometimes you come out there just exhausted. Somebody said it was like D1 football training. You know,
There you go.
It really
But there's
is.
something to be said about that. I mean, I find it admirable. Really.
Yeah.
It's hard work.
Yeah, it is. And keep it up. That's
you
all I can
find-
say. Especially working in the bar life. Look, bar
Oh,
life
yeah,
is
that's-
tough.
That's what I was going to ask.
Horrible
I
influence
was like,
type
working in
of
the bar life. I mean,
environment, right?
you have good food there. How often do you indulge in the food? And I know just the bar life itself. You know, do you indulge in the drink and stuff like that? Is that a hard thing to overcome?
Yeah, well, it is and it isn't. I can tell you my biggest problem is my diet, and I just eat out too much.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
It really is. And you know, when it really gets down to it, you can strength train, you can get stronger. But, you know, if you want to lose fat, if you want to, you know, you got to cut calories. You have to, you have to have, consume more. I mean, it's just math.
It is.
It is, and it doesn't matter what kind of calories it is.
Well, do you want- do you stand-
and you honestly can't work out or do cardio enough to offset the poor
What you
eating.
put in your mouth.
You can't. You can't.
100%,
Diet is still
100%.
80% of it. Wouldn't you agree, Nick?
I mean,
It
shit.
just
There's a
is.
guy. Go ahead. Sorry,
It
Nick.
just is.
And I was saying, like, I mean, just what did moderation is. Who said that?
What?
Moderation is key. Even moderation.
Mother Teresa.
No, everything in moderation, including moderation.
Oh, Gandhi. Gandhi.
No, Irish guy. It was an Irish guy. Irish author.
Oscar Wilde.
Oscar Wilde.
Oscar Wilde.
Oh, you said Rumpelstiltskin. That was a good guess.
Come
That was a
on.
really good
Is
guess.
Rumpelstiltskin Irish?
That was
I
better
don't
than my
think so.
guess. That was better than my
You know,
guess.
it's what I'm trying to say is moderation adds to respect of what we do. Like, we understand what we do. We understand that, you know, we're a purveyor of, you know, what some people call certain things, where we're like, hey, yeah, we're slinging booze, we got fish and
Right.
chips, we got all this stuff, but like, you know, it's
Yeah, we sell a lot of food, but it's like Nick said, it really gets down to moderation, because you don't want to starve yourself to death and binge, and then you're going to blow it.
Right.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
so really, and this is what our nutritionists
So you're not a
tell-
fan of
you know,
fasting?
No. I know a lot of people that do. I just can't go that long without eating, even if it's 8 to 18 hours. But really, it just gets down. It's like, don't order dessert. You know,
Right.
maybe order a veggie instead of you know, the fries.
Don't order all the appetizers.
Yeah, don't order all the
All of them.
appetizers.
All the meat.
Yeah, but
Hey, man, I resemble
All the
that.
meat.
and I think any nutritionist or personal trainer will tell you that if you starve yourself during the week, you're going to binge on the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
And you don't want that cycle. It's all about rewarding yourself every once in a while, having a good time, but being good most of the time.
Yeah, you hear stories.
And I'm going to tell you that's my biggest challenge, because I do like to go out to eat, and you know, 100 calories here, 100 calories there, it does add up. And it is all about counting calories. It
Yeah.
really, truly is. If you're consuming less, then you're burning up, you're going to lose fat and weight. You could do that on a McDonald's diet. You're
Sure.
not going to get stronger, and there's obviously other health benefits.
Yep.
But you know, if you're burning 2,000 calories a day and you're eating 1,800, you're going to lose weight.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
so I count my calories. If I'm on the American Fitness plan, the meal plan.
my fitness
So everything I eat, everything I drink, I log.
Yeah, that's excellent. I fast every day. You
Yes.
know, even
Intermittent fasting's great. I just don't.
But again, you know, I've been fasting for a long time. You would think I'd weigh 180 pounds, but that's not the case. So it doesn't work for me.
Well,
but I'm going to continue to do
Well,
it.
yeah, but Sean, you don't know what you would be like if you weren't fasting.
Yeah,
either. So-
well, I'd be fatter because
There
I've
you go.
lost
you go.
weight. So
Yeah.
I mean, my point by saying that is I'm trying to make an effort, and like I started off like fasting one day a week. You know, I'd eat dinner Sunday, and I wouldn't eat again until Tuesday morning, and I did that since the beginning of the new year, and it actually worked. I was at 265, and I got down to the 245, and then I hit a wall, and I'm kind of like, God bless. And it's exactly what you said. It's just like, yeah, you don't eat, and then, you know, Tuesday came along, I ate less because my stomach was. By the time Saturday hit, shit, man, I was like, give me a full freaking
Right, you're
15
gorging.
pound
Let's go
brisket, and
hit
I'm
the
done.
buffet.
Oh yeah. You know. I like my whiskey. I like my Guinness, and I like my cheeseburgers.
Yeah.
And
So-
and I'm not going to give that up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's why I was like, you know what, this isn't working. So I think I'm going to try the fasting every day, do the 18-hour break, and just eat between a window and just eat reasonable.
Yeah, but my personal trainer now, Keegan at IPD, is a great guy. He always says, Stan, you know, this is your goal. You want to lose 5 pounds. You want to get your body fat down. He goes, there's 2 ways to do it. You can either do more cardio,
Yep.
or you can eat less.
Yeah.
He goes, I don't care how you get there, but if you don't meet your goals, we're doing more cardio.
Yeah. I
going
need a
like,
trainer
okay.
like that. God bless.
And that's a great point. I mean, I know people that don't ever go to the gym. right? They never go to the gym. All they do is watch what they eat, and they lose.
Yeah.
They lose a ton of weight.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't even
Those
call
people
it
are
eating, I
jerks.
wouldn't even call it eating less. I would call it eating smart.
Well, I think one of the best inventions is these Apple Watches.
Oh, yeah.
Getting your 10,000 steps in, and I mean these things are amazing. I think everybody ought to have one of these.
I know.
10,000?
Y'all have one? Yeah.
I set mine to 7.
Well, that's okay.
That's lame.
That's lame. Well, yeah, you're.
We've been trying to shame
Set it
him
to 8.
for years.
Set it to 8. Sean.
You finally were able to shame him. Thank you,
I do
Stan.
Well, I'm drinking
25.
his whiskey.
I do
I'm not gonna
25,000 on the
Yes,
weekends.
thank you.
Shut up.
Yeah, he will.
Hold on, say that again. Nick.
35 years
I do
old.
25,000 steps on the weekends.
Are you
on,
serious?
Like each
Work at
shift.
Celt, yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
oh, yeah.
Shoot.
And you're not even trying.
Yeah, that's just me. on
You're
my
doing
feet,
your
man.
thing. You're falling down the stairs.
Dude, there was.
He's shaking his arm.
No, I'm not.
Does that count as steps when you fall down the
No,
stairs?
no, but that St.
Is that a
Patrick's
step
Day,
on each one?
between the end of the bar and the bar, like I was looking how many steps did I do on St. Patrick, and we were in that bar nonstop just because it was so busy.
Oh, yeah.
And I did I think almost like 16, 17 miles, and that
Right.
bar is probably what? How long's the bar?
100, I don't know,
No.
50 feet?
No. The inside of the bar, the actual.
Oh, geez,
the-
15, 20 feet.
Yeah. I did
And you
15,
just-
16 miles, walking back and forth. 15,
You're doing D1,
Yeah.
like where they touch
Yeah.
the lines, going back and
Yes.
forth.
The shuttle
That's
run.
basically what
The
you're doing. You're
shuttle
doing
run, yeah.
you're doing the shuttle run all night long.
Do you guys hit capacity on St. Patty's Day where you like have
Are
to
you
turn
kidding
folks
me?
back?
Yeah, we have to watch.
You kidding me?
Yeah, obviously we have
Line wraps
yeah,
around the
yeah,
door.
Yeah, we
you know,
have.
door
It
guys.
is ridiculous.
Also, you got to do the counting thing where you can't allow that many people in.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to make a suggestion. I think you guys need to open up one of those windows and put some sort of air-filled tube where people can exit. And that way,
Just jump down the window.
way there's a quick exit plan, and that way you have a free flowing. Because people get in there, they're like, "Oh man, I got to
It's
all
like
the way
a
down the
kiddie
stairs."
slide.
Yeah, no, just hey man, there you go, and then you get them out.
Okay, I'll
Charge
call,
them $5.
I'll call Boeing tomorrow. Okay.
There you go.
Boeing. That's a good one.
Oh,
yeah.
I'd be
that's a
scared about
horrible
that,
idea.
man. You might have
Yeah,
want to
that's
call.
a horrible idea. All right, so Stan, I got a
They're
question
going to
for
get
you.
stranded up there.
I don't know if it's such a great airplane either anymore.
No,
That's
that's what I'm
right. That's
saying.
what we're saying.
It's not a good spaceship. It's not a good airplane. All right, so I got a question for you.
Got stranded
All right, so
astronauts right now.
So you walked into this situation kind of, you like you said, you had no experience,
yeah.
no industry experience. You just
Yeah.
kind of winged it.
Yeah.
If you were to do it all over again, knowing what you know now,
Yeah.
what would you do differently?
I'd have got a job waiting tables in college.
Oh, to prep
No,
yourself.
I mean,
Because I had no
I mean, as an entrepreneur.
No. Well, no. A quick story. When I was going to TCU, I thought it'd be cool. And I talked to a couple of buddies of mine too. Let's go apply at Bennigan's. Remember Bennigan's and let's wait tables.
Oh
And they
yeah,
had-
that was a great happy hour
and
hangout.
they gave us about 20 minutes of training, and they had me carry out a big tray with like 10 plates on it.
How'd
to
that
the
go?
table. I said, I'm not doing this. I went back to Macy's selling ties.
Right.
So that was my experience in the restaurant business before.
Okay.
But so for me, it wasn't being the restaurant business or the pub business. It was all about being Irish.
We had
For
to
me,
lean on
that's
people,
really-
though. I mean, to get the business up and running, you had to lean on people because the people that around you that knew the business.
Yeah.
So when you showed up, Nick was already there. So I'm assuming he was one of your main people that you would lean on, right?
Right.
Yes.
Am I assuming?
Well,
Yeah.
did Nick help you or hurt you?
Well, sometimes with a fantastic relationship, it becomes bittersweet. I mean, hey, look.
Well, even a dead cat will bounce, right?
Brutal.
But look, Nick. I mean, you were you handling both sides of it, like the food and beverage? I know you're food and beverage, but I mean, were you back in the kitchen helping them?
I mean, so I was there before Stan as I was like a server, bartender, doing like the front house stuff, and I'd done some management before at a couple other places. I'd been in the industry at that point. This was 13 for about 7, 8 years now. Yeah. So yeah, next July I've been in the industry for like 20 years or coming up on 20.
Shit.
Damn.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. That's
I've been at the Celt for about
Good resume,
almost
man.
12. Yeah, it's well, and that was one thing that Stan. I will always respect him for the fact that he would ask questions and he would take your input and he would work with it. And if he disagreed with it, he'd give you reasons why. He was like, I don't think we should do this because of this. It wasn't just like I'm the new head honcho.
Yep.
Where he'd be like, Nick, I understand what you're saying, but. Come on, let's just try this. I think we should do this a little differently. And like there were some things that I thought I was, gung ho completely right about that he proved me wrong on. And And eventually, over time,
and vice versa.
Yeah, that relationship turned into where I could talk to him. Hey, man, I think we're doing something that we could be doing better. And
nice.
And then as for the front of house, back of house, it's building that relationship between the two parts of the house. They say it. You got FOH, BOH, front of house, back of house, and that is the hardest part about restaurants and bars is that relationship because there's like two islands and they don't like to talk to each other sometimes.
Right.
Yeah.
And
they have different goals, right?
And they can be pompous towards each other,
Yeah.
You don't know what you're talking about.
we're
You don't
not-
know what
no.
you're talking about.
And I had I was at a conference, a bartending conference, and they said, and I was listening to some guy, and he said, "You want to learn how to make a drink? Go talk to your cooks. They'll tell you how to make something taste different. Like they know what will make things taste
Interesting.
Interesting. Yeah.
And I think that's a really any bartenders like take some time to get to know your chefs, like your cooks, like and the stuff that they can bring to the table. But anyone who wants to get into like management, like don't be below anything. I mean, I don't cook every day, but let me tell you what, I've cooked in our kitchen before when they need me, and I'm like, this is the best spot that I can be right now. I can go sling some fries on the fry. I can go take care of some business back there. Is it my like number one probably top skill set? Probably not, but I know how to do it, and I think that's important in the
So
industry.
important.
You know what that is?
Yeah.
That's good leadership.
Is it?
But-
Like
really
you
is.
didn't walk in going, "I'm a banker, motherfucker."
No.
I know exactly what I'm doing, right?
No, because I didn't know everything, and it's a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
It is, and we did it right. But I'm a student of history, and I know the FDR during the Depression, things were bad, and he would just throw things against the wall and see if they stuck. And
Right.
we did a lot of that. I mean, remember, Nick, at one point we had Mozart chamber music on a Sunday night. That didn't work.
Hey, whoa! I like Mozart. I like Mozart.
Well, I do too. I love Mozart, and a lot of people did.
Is that because
but-
he had hearing aids?
Yes.
Hearing issues?
That was Beethoven.
That was
That what's going on
Beethoven.
here? Oh, okay.
Thank you, Stan.
Good
Thank
Lord.
you.
It's Beethoven. But we tried bluegrass and we finally found out what works, what doesn't work. It's not what I like. It's what our patrons like.
Right.
As long as we're staying true to the Irish culture. And that overrides everything. We are not, and we have lost employees because of that, and we have lost customers because of that, because we are not going to compromise on the Irish part of our.
Meaning
Irish
you're
part.
not going to branch out
No.
and change the theme.
Well,
or,
yeah, there's a word for Irish pubs that are not Irish. And they call them plastic patties. It looks Irish.
Wannabes.
Yeah, I mean, there will never be a leprechaun in the cult.
They're trying to cater to everyone, right?
Right.
Yeah, and it's just not, and you can tell when you walk in, and whether you like it or not. And most people do like it. Most people come back.
Most people,
but
yeah.
but you can't be everything to everybody to be successful
Sure.
in business.
Nice.
Yeah, I agree.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, for me,
But Sean, guys, we focus on obviously the food. We focus on the Guinness. We focus on the whiskey, and we focus on the music.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So you've been running a successful business for a while, and I know you dipped your toes into
even
politics.
through COVID, yeah.
Right. Well, you dipped your toes
yeah.
into politics, I believe.
Mm-hmm. I think it was more in my toe.
Was it a full body plunge?
Well, actually, I lost my toe during the city council run. So.
yeah. So did
Just your toe.
So did you run for a city spot like a council or the mayor?
City council in 2021.
Yeah.
Yes.
What
And
was-
that's where you truly found yourself. It was the most humanistic experience ever, right?
Yeah, I ran for school board years and years ago when I was younger, and it was a very pleasant experience. But
Sounds-
I can tell you, I was always interested in politics and a political junkie, and I know the debates going on while we're doing this and all that kind of stuff, and it is important what's going on. But to me, I'm just going to be perfectly honest, and I hope this changes because there's something. I'm going to get serious with you guys. There's something really wrong in the way we're treating each other over our
We
differences of
know
opinion.
all about it.
And
Agreed.
it seems like the more you know the person, the lower the level the politics is, i.e., city council, because you know these people, you know the
Yeah.
people that are voting for you.
Right.
I made a lot of friends because of the run that came to the Celt, and I lost some friends too. And it was mind boggling to me when you're talking about fixing the streets and restoring good government and integrity,
Yeah.
and protecting, creating more green spaces and maybe slowing down this or
Something that
speeding up
everybody
this.
should be on board with.
Yeah, and it's really just all about. I need to be careful what I say. It's just really all about
Power.
Power.
Yeah, that's what it all boils down to.
Yeah,
It's-
and Sean, guys, this is what surprised me. It's like, good Lord, guys, this is city council. It's like, and it was an eye opening for me. And I have to say that and people say, Stan, I'm thinking about running for council. You know, what's your advice? And I said, I have 3 words. I said, don't do it.
So I went and had lunch
right.
at the Celt, and I think I had Austin with me, and you shared this exact thing about your experience, and I was kind of like, that sucked. It made me bitter. I was absolutely bitter to hear your experience.
And guys, what has done this? I think what has ruined social it's social media.
We
agreed.
It's this iPhone that's sitting next to us. For some reason, I'm just going to be perfectly honest and speak from the heart here. I think that people become very brave and they think they're anonymous when they're behind a keyboard.
Yep.
But they're not. It's just the opposite.
It's like road rage in a car.
But they're not held accountable.
It is. And
they're not held accountable.
And they're not held accountable. And there's so many people. It's like Clara, I know you. How can you know me? It's like, why are you saying? And because, you know, she may be center left and I'm center right, and you know that's not good enough anymore. You got to be extremely far right. Or you gotta be
that's
far
absurd.
left.
It is.
Or you're evil.
And if you're a moderate,
that is
and,
social media.
You know, I ran a very what I thought was a good locally issues based center right campaign, and just got crucified. Now I did make the runoff. You know, and the gentleman that won is a very good man, and I can't say enough good things about him. He wasn't the one I was running against at the time, it seemed, but and I pray for him every night.
Good for you.
But and I do because he's a good man and he's trying to do the right thing too.
Right.
If they just left us alone, I think we could. And me and him are friends.
What do you mean left us alone?
Outside.
Do you feel like you were harassed?
No. You can't run for city council now without national politics coming into it.
Like PACs,
that
like the
stinks.
political action
right.
stuff
Yes.
like that.
They want to know what your views are on this and that.
And they're pressuring you to have a certain platform.
Yeah, it's like, what does that have to do with city councils? And now both parties are extremely involved in city council runs.
Even down this way,
And
these
it's
little
just
suburbs.
and it's just a mess. And it's like, hey, he's a good guy. She's a good girl. You know, I'm going to vote. I'm going to vote for him or her because I know they've got a good heart and they're going to do the best job they can.
Right.
That's not how people vote anymore. It's not.
You know what it is? I say this over and over again. It's how to get power and how to keep power.
Yeah. And they don't care who they walk on
Those
to
are the
get it
two
done.
things that politicians are concerned with.
Yeah.
And you can, and there are no stone unturned or person stepped on to get there.
See, another reason why they need to have time constraints on the amount of time you can spend in office.
Term limits.
Yeah.
Well, then there's a ballot on the city of McKinney in November to do away with term limits.
Yeah, absolutely.
to do away with term limits?
Yeah, because they don't want to leave.
Right. Oh, go
So they want to do
figure.
away with term
Go
limits.
figure.
That's
The people
absurd.
in power
So I just
are
want to
making
say right
rules
now,
to never leave power.
vote against that proposition. It's at the very end of the ballot, but vote no.
You know the sad thing about this whole thing?
I think
It'll probably pass. That's a sad thing.
I think 8 or 12 years
Probably.
is enough.
No, but here's the sad thing to me. There's a lot of good people that want to make a difference and they want to get into politics to make a difference, but they steer clear.
Yeah,
Because they don't want to deal with the bullshit that you just described.
And I would advise them not to.
And
You gotta be tough.
God bless the guys that are willing,
Yeah.
and guys and gals that are willing to go there
Yeah.
to make a difference, right?
Yeah. I think it's important to do it. I mean, I stepped
is.
up in my neighborhood. Unfortunately, I had the wonderful experience of being our HOA president for over a decade.
Oh, there's no politics there, is there?
No, none.
It was absurd. So, but it's a microcosm of what you went through.
Yeah.
But it's still, nonetheless, it sucked.
Yeah.
It sucked, and in our community, no one wanted to step up because, trust me, I wanted out. I didn't run for that.
Yeah, I've had
Right.
thoughts of running for school board, and I think what you're talking about has kept me from doing it because I think it would just be I don't want to say a nightmare, but
But you have such a great temperament for that type of stuff.
Well,
Yeah,
and
you're
you
like,
have
I'll
the
kill you
voice
all.
of authority.
you know, I like to tell everybody, you know, a lot of people say, well, I'm never going to run because my past, I mean, it's like, I don't think anybody cares about that anymore. It's do they agree with you or not on your ideology? And it's just a real mess right now. And the other thing I've said, if they can't find something on you, they're going to make it up.
Right.
Yeah, they fill in blanks.
Especially with AI. Especially with AI nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
They'll take a picture of you and Nick and spin it. Look at these guys.
It's just crazy.
Look at these guys.
Yeah.
Hey, look at them. They're on vacation.
They're in Ireland.
They're
What
on
are they
vacation
doing?
in South
Are they smuggling
America?
drugs back?
But that's the leveler.
They're in Ecuador.
Because the other side. I mean,
Searching for crystal skulls.
You know, my side's doing it just as hard as we're getting on the other side, and
Yeah, on both sides.
yeah, it's.
So let's talk about Ecuador.
Okay, let's talk about
So
it.
you were crushing the Irish pub competition in South America, destroying them.
Oh yeah, there's like one Irish pub in Quito.
Right, and you just, you totally crushed their dreams,
Hey
which is
man,
cool.
what an Irish.
Which is cool because you know he wanted that award and you won it. Whatever. So tell us about your experience in South America.
I've done a lot of traveling. I think I've been to Ireland probably 30 times. You've been at least 10. Yeah. We just got back from a group trip in Ireland just in June. But
what is the goal? What is the function to go there? Just for the experience, or you?
It's well. Number
is
one,
this a business plan?
Number one, I'd love to travel, and it's kind of it inspires me. I rejuvenated by traveling. Yeah, we took a group trip to Ecuador in March of last year, and I liked it so much that I went back in June and going back in October. And you hear all these things about South America. It's not safe.
Right.
Well, Nick, it was just amazing.
Yeah, I mean, Ecuador was super cool. I mean, real quick, to chime back about what you're saying about Ireland. I mean, the reason you were saying about Ireland, I just want to chime back because to tie back in earlier, I wanted to say this. One thing that Stan does correctly is he knows the Irish history. He impresses it onto people. He tries to get us to learn it. I've spent some time learning about the Irish history, and that does add a lot to it. So going to Ireland, part of that mission is to not only see the Celt over there, hang out with those guys, learn it, sling drinks with those guys, but it's that culture and the historical relevancy of Ireland that you can bring back. As we were told this.
We come back rejuvenated.
Yeah, and we were told this a while ago. You are ambassadors for Ireland if you own an Irish pub.
There's something to be said about traveling afar, somewhere where maybe your lineage comes from, and how it rejuvenates your batteries. Oh, yeah. You just get connected with everything. It's just, it's not just a break, going to Lake Tahoe or going to Colorado, but when you go somewhere that's kind of timeless.
Well, Sean, guys, travel dispels all prejudice. I've never known anybody that was well traveled that was a bigot. I don't know how else to say it. Does that make sense? I shouldn't say that. You may want to edit that.
No. But you're absorbing experiences everywhere.
Yeah.
More
and you learn that
attitudes
that we're not better or they're not better. It's just different.
Well, we have a saying here in Frisco that like our kids they've grown up in the Frisco bubble. They don't know the experience. Like I grew up in Cincinnati in a just small little Ohio town, right? Very small school, wasn't the nicest. Whereas here in Frisco, their high schools, like my son played football and he went and played football for college. I was like, your high school facilities were better than this college's.
College.
So they have this Frisco bubble mentality where they don't really understand what's happening outside of that. And I think you just kind of nailed that, where you're like, if you travel and you start seeing these things, you realize
how privileged you are.
Yeah, you get appreciation of what you have here in relation to what a lot of people don't.
Sure.
Yeah. And on the business side of a research side, we call it research. but at the same time, whether it's in Fort Worth or whether it's in Quito or Taipei, if we're going to go to an Irish pub there, and there's going to be a takeaway, and it's almost always we need to do this. Very seldom is it's like we don't need to do this. It's usually a policy. It's like Nick, let's get on the internet. We were in Syracuse, New York, in July visiting Coleman's, which is an amazing Irish pub. It's like an OG thing, and they were telling us a story about Tipperary Hill, where in the 1920s. The Irish kids on the corner were breaking the traffic signal light because it had green, yellow, red, yellow, and green, and they were always busting it, and they were always having to put it up. And they said, "Kids, why do you keep tearing this down? Because we don't want the red on top of the green.
Oh, boy.
They don't want England on top of the Irish,
exactly."
And so the city council got smart and they just hung it upside down. Yeah, so it's a famous place in Syracuse, an intersection. It's the only place in the whole country where there's an upside down traffic light. And it's like, this is so cool. I said, get us a traffic light. Order it on eBay.
We've been
Yeah, we're trying to find it and make us a sign that says Tipperary Hill, and let's put that up in the Celt.
Yeah.
And upside down.
Upside down.
Upside down, of course.
It's just so cool.
You know what's
and of course, we
amazing?
have people that come in from Syracuse that know what that is.
No way.
Oh, of course we do. Yeah.
So what's so cool about that is you would think that, if you don't know any better, that you go to an Irish pub anywhere in the world and you're going to get basically the same experience. But what you're saying is you're getting the local experience, the local history, the local culture, no matter where you go, absorbed into that experience of visiting an Irish pub.
Into the Celt, yeah.
Right.
And it's a lot of fun.
Which is
on our
super
part,
cool.
too.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, the amount of things at the Celt that we take away so much when we travel, and or things that have been successful for us and things that have not been successful for us. But I mean, to be honest, like it does. Traveling, going to see those Irish pubs, seeing what they're doing, and it's always great when you walk into like someone else's, especially when they're states away, because they recognize, like their staff recognizes that I'm not here to compete with you guys. I'm in Texas, man.
Right.
Like in Syracuse, they're like perfect, open book. What do you want to know?
Oh,
Like,
beautiful.
Like they want us to be just as successful as they, and like vice versa. They'll be like, have you had any issues with like this? I'm like, oh yeah, I got you. Like, and
This is how we dealt with it.
This is how we dealt with it. And it's that you become colleagues. You become like
Friends.
friends. Yeah.
Yes.
And it's something.
It's a brotherhood.
Yeah.
It
It's
Come on, man. That's what it is. It's a brotherhood.
very fraternal in that sense. It's
Yes.
like, people recognize, and especially when you've been doing it. I mean,
But we've done that in, Philly, Syracuse, Boise, Dublin,
Yeah,
Madrid.
I
I mean, wherever. We always
and then
we always have a
we've been doing
takeaway.
it for so long now. I mean, we've been doing this for over 10 years. I mean, which has to. I mean, credit has to be understood as, in this industry, 10 years is kind of monumental. Like, it's kind of a big point. A lot of places don't make it past 10 years. And so we finally have a little bit of a name. We have this name to us that people recognize us. People know about us.
Absolutely.
And so sometimes, like, and it helps us, and they ask us questions. I mean, and there is, whether it's cocktail programs, whether it's menu layouts, like whether it's, hey, what's doing good? I mean, we have these corned beef and cabbage egg rolls. They're pretty much a Reuben in egg roll form.
Yeah.
And we found another Irish pub, and they said, I mean, there's like, they work really, really good, and they worked really well for us. And they're like, all you gotta do is this, and this, and we're like, all right, we'll try them out.
Yep.
And,
They're sharing whatever hits they have.
and that's
What a
the
beautiful
beauty.
thing.
Yeah, it's the beauty of it. And then you end up meeting like the big guys. Like, I mean,
And that's a good thing about social media, because you can make connections.
Yeah.
And we can talk to these people. Like, we were in Ireland in June in Limerick, and a buddy of mine over there just opened his restaurant, and we went and saw it, and it was just amazing.
great
It's just crazy.
give him a
Yeah.
plug. Give him a spot a plug.
Yeah. Well, it's Ace's restaurant. Condorty is his name. He just opened up a new restaurant there. If you're ever in Ireland, go by it.
It is a heck of a place. I mean,
Was it
heck
in
of a place.
Dublin?
Limerick.
Limerick. Right.
Really great spot though. I mean, if you got a chance, you want to try it. It's not like traditional Irish pub per se. But it is an experience. It's great food, great drinks, and I highly recommend it.
What's the weird thing is I was looking at plane tickets today to go to Dublin. You get round trip tickets for $550 right now.
What the hell? Why are we going to Dublin?
I'm in.
For $550, I'd go to Dublin. I'd go.
Oh yeah,
I'd go
me
spend 2
too.
days.
But I'm just wondering why you were. What was your?
I was looking for a vacation for my wife and I.
Oh, nice.
you should
Oh,
go.
I see.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's not the dudes like us. It's just yeah.
It was during spring break, so I don't know what Ireland's like at end of March, but that's what I was
It's
looking
a good time to go. It's good. We've been there. It's a little cold, but it's a good
It
time
can
to
be a
go.
little chilly.
It's off season, which is cool. Like pub, like I love Ireland, but this is my one thing I would tell you to do if you're ever going to go to Ireland. By all means, there's the on seasons and the off seasons. On season, there's tons of people there. You'll meet a lot of cool people. But I mean, Ireland's tourism is what 67% of their total income. It's a lot. So in the on season, it's up, Jerry, up, thumbs up. Here's your pint, up, next up, and it's burn and turn. And I understand that. In the off season, though, you will have so much more fun getting to know people because they are going to be shocked you're there.
I love to go over there. Well, it didn't have to be in Dublin. I mean, it could be anywhere, and just find a pub that I'm comfortable with, and talking to the bartenders and the staff and the regulars, and you can. It's like, I'm coming back tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's what I enjoy about vacation.
Right.
The off seasons there, you get to meet the staff, you party with the staff. Like they'll take you out afterwards. Like, hey man, you close down their pub, they're gonna be like, hey, we're going somewhere else. You want to come? And I cannot begin to tell you the crazy stories I've had in Dublin, Ireland,
And Cork.
Yeah, I don't know. Love Cork. But like any of those big cities, like over there, especially in when you get in the off season, they'll close up early sometimes. Like you'll hang out, and then you'll end up somewhere, and like it's kind of like, back to that's why I love the saying about amazing stories at the Celt. Amazing stories are meant for Irish pubs. They always start in Irish pubs, and they never end in Irish pubs. They always kicks off something. So I always gotta say, like, if you get yourself overseas, especially in Europe, embrace the off season if you can. If you can, it's a good time.
So we got so many more stories, but we have a bourbon we have to talk about.
Okay.
All right. So
first
of all, more stories in the second
Stan,
half.
I handed you the bottle. If you want to put a little tiny drop in there, or however much you want, just to sample it. So the little trip that I took out to visit my dad. My dad likes to go out to Connecticut. We're born up on the Northeast, and my dad goes out with his family, and they have an island out there on the East Coast, by Portland, and it's called Shebig Island, and they go out there every single year. They still own a bunch of land out there, but it's nothing. They have to rent basically every time. It is a beautiful spot. Take the ferry out there. Tons of food. It's cold. It's an island. It's in the Northeast.
You're isolated. You're isolated.
Absolutely.
Right?
Did you have some lobster rolls?
Oh, dude, no. Well, no, not there. I did when I was in New Jersey. I didn't have any lobsters. We had lobsters because we go on the island. That's what they do. Lobsters. So you go down. You drive down, and they've got the little kids out there. They're just like, hey, you want some lobsters?
Get some lobsters.
So we went up to
Lobsters.
you walk up, and they've got a rudimentary little shack set up, and they got the lobsters in there, and you pull them out, and you pick them, and it's like super cheap. It's like $8-9 a pound, and you walk away. You get $50-100, and you're just like, holy shit! I just bought a buttload of lobsters. All my relatives out there, they know how to cook this stuff. So they, basically, you don't do anything to it. You just steam it to death.
Right.
And then there's a technique on opening it up.
Kill it alive.
Anyways, that whole experience, I like to, because who we are, the Dudes Like Us podcast, we rummage through wherever we go, and we try to find some of the unique unicorns out there for bourbons and whiskeys.
Or just different.
Across the board.
Stuff we can't get here.
So I ran across this place. It's the New England Barrel Company, and this is actually the second time that we've actually tasted this one.
Yeah.
Now, when I was out there, I tried a bottle, and I actually fell in love with it. I thought it was fantastic. Then I was like, man, I like this so much, I'm going to buy another bottle, and I'm going to bring it back with me. Well, the one we brought back with me, it tastes a little bit different. I don't know if it was because of the ambiance of being out there and the emotion behind it.
You had euphoria, bourbon euphoria.
Yeah, maybe it was. I don't know. But this is, I enjoy it. So it's it's made in New England. It's the New England Barrel Company.
99.
This is a straight bourbon whiskey. It's been aged for 3.5 years. It's 119 proof, basically.
Yeah,
almost 100. It's pretty strong.
This is actually Kentucky juice that they purchased and they aged up there in New England.
Very nice.
And it's beautiful. They did a great job.
Hey, guys, it ages differently.
I've already tasted it. This is really amazing. Have you tasted this? This is really so smooth.
It's this one, Nick.
And it's different.
So the first one I gave you guys, first one we did was a little sample of our Infinity bottle from the 2024 whiskey. World of Whiskeys. But.
Yeah, I made a couple notes when I was tasting this earlier and I was smelling it. I'm picking, like the nose, I picked up a lot of vanilla and it smelled very sweet to me.
It is sweet.
Yeah.
And there's some tobacco like on the finish.
So a funky caramel molasses.
What do you got, Nick?
Very little burn.
Tobacco molasses. I'm tasting all the spice. Kind of like the other stuff. A little chewy.
Right.
The back end gets in the back.
Yep.
So, I mean, in fact, I even taste a little raspberry on the back end.
Raspberry.
Yeah.
It reminds me
a little
of
raspberry.
Bread pudding. To be honest with you, a little bread pudding.
I like it.
Bread
nice.
pudding, baby.
All right, so let's put it where the mustard's at. So basically, what we do every week, and we got categories too, because you have 100 proof, you have 80 proof, 90 proof, 100 proof. Those are kind of in different categories.
Yeah.
So when we rate those, in my opinion, doesn't hold as much weight as something in this category because 115, 120, that's a different animal. And then you start driving towards the hazmat era or anything over 120, 125, 30. That's hazmat area. Now, me personally, I love hazmat. It's not about, at that point, it's not about quantity, it's about quality. And I like pouring a nice big shot of a hazmat, and I take such a minute taste, just a little bit, and then I have a little beer after that. So I could drink a whiskey it'll take me a couple hours.
It'll take all night.
Yeah, so it's not about like getting shit faced. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that are like, well, you guys are a bunch of drunks. No, it's not about that. It's about the quality of life, and that's what the whole thing is about. So, if we're going to rate this on a scale of 1 to 10, going around the table, I'll start with Nick, and we'll go counterclockwise. Put Nick on the spot. The highest that we've rated.
No. Don't give any high. Let's see what they have to say.
All right.
Well, 1 through 10, 1 being bad, 10 being the best.
So am I ranking this like bourbon specific or whiskey specific?
Just
or?
whiskey. It doesn't matter.
Just your experience with the bourbons or whiskey, just in general.
Yeah.
Even if you want to compare it to some
holds barred.
some Irish whiskeys that you may be familiar with.
Yeah.
Because it's strong.
It's strong, but it's extremely palatable. I mean, it's very, very. This is a good sipper. I mean, this is the burn that's there is so sweet and mellow that it kind of drifts across your throat. To be honest with you, I would actually rank this kind of high. I actually think it's pretty good. I'd probably give it a 7.75. Like, I mean,
interesting.
It's perfect.
Yeah. Stan,
I love Nick.
I like this one. Well,
we just got weird.
yeah. Well, I agree with Nick.
A little chubby.
I really like this one. I don't know if it's quite as chewy. I like my bourbon. I think probably more than you do. I love my Irish, but I like my bourbon too. I'm a maker's guy when it comes to bourbon.
Okay.
But this is really this is amazing. I mean, it's clear, it's light. I'm getting no burn on the throat whatsoever. I'm picking up some of the flavors that you guys said. This is a solid 8.5 with me.
Oh, good for you.
I really like this bourbon.
Yeah.
It doesn't need water. It doesn't need ice.
No.
It's just good, just like it is.
Yeah. I agree. For the proof, what's this, did you say? 100 and...
Yeah.
118.
And
119.
I would not guess that.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the amazing thing about some of these bourbons, even the hazmats. It's like, it is that strong, but it doesn't have that ethanol-y slap in your face when you try to taste it.
Yeah, we've had some
Right.
100 proofers that just burn all the way.
I think it's the age.
goodness.
To be honest with you, this is aged for 3.5 years. I mean, that's a lot for an
a lot for a
American
bird. Yeah, it is.
for anything from America.
Yeah.
I mean, 3 years is a minimum for
So
Ireland and Scotland.
Sean, what does this go for a bottle?
It's about $60 to $70.
Okay.
So it's doable.
Which is right in the sweet spot in terms of, I feel
That comfortable.
proof and that age.
I mean, we're starting. I mean, that's kind of exactly that's kind of where we're at. And in fact, when we go over $70, it's kind of like
Yeah, then we start having higher expectations, right?
Yeah, we do.
All right,
Yeah,
go ahead.
And we got some expensive ones out there, and sometimes they don't
Deliver.
All right, so
deliver.
we got,
They
Correct.
don't.
so we got 8.5. You said 8.5.
8.5.
All right.
I really like this one because it's light.
Right.
For 119 proof, that's actually a very light bourbon.
Yeah. Well, this is the second time we're having it, and I don't think we much cared for it the first time.
Agreed.
I don't know why. Maybe our palates have changed. It's been about a year since
So
we tried this.
and I've mentioned this several times. Sometimes when you pop a bottle open and it's the first time
Gotta
you've
breathe.
opened it, once you bring it past the shoulder and you introduce it to
Something
some oxygen,
changes.
it does something to the mix. And
Right.
so because the first time we tried this here
Right.
at this table, I was like, this is a bust for me. I was kind of disappointed.
Really?
But
Yeah, it was.
but now that it's I think it's got some more air in it and it's
Yeah.
aerated a bunch, I think it's opened up those flavors a little bit because I share the same.
Agree. So I'm closer to what Nick has. I think I'm about a 6. I'm sorry, about a 7.6, 7.7.
Son of a bitch. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
So.
I could drink that at home.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
And you can't get that around here, not that I'm aware of. I've never seen it.
No, it's
No, it's
proprietary
unique.
to that. But if you want one, I'm going up there soon. I'll bring back. I'm bringing back like 6 bottles.
Nice.
He does that a lot.
Right.
You're driving, right?
No, I'll put it in my gun case.
Okay.
There you go.
Secret there.
No, it's good. It's nice and viscous, nice and oily, like you said, chewy, oily.
Lots of flavor.
It is. It's much better the second time.
And of course, all of our palates are different.
They
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
totally.
That's the beauty of this. It's like everybody's going to pick up. When I went to bar school in Dublin in 2013, the instructor said, "Never, ever, ever criticize or make fun of somebody ordering a drink at your bar. Just give them what they want."
Oh, yeah.
because we all taste things.
You like what you like.
100%.
You like what you like.
which is what makes it really
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, for me, I would give it a 3.1, I think.
Oh,
I'm kidding. I'm
No,
totally
that's
kidding.
crap.
I'm totally kidding.
Son of a bitch.
I'm actually going to go with maybe a 7.2. 7.2.
There you go.
Yep. Go ahead, Sean.
I'm going to do a 7.9. It's not quite an 8 for me because for me an 8 is exemplary, and I think it's right on the cusp of being awesome. I wouldn't kick this out of bed.
No,
I'd make a turkey sandwich for it. I'd want to stay all night.
Yeah,
Spoon.
I'd spoon it. I'd love
Wow. Well,
big spoon or little.
we don't need to get into that.
it enough to hurt.
Chase.
Too soon.
And that's it. So I hear the music.
All right. Well, first of all, we want to. You guys staying for the second half?
That's up to you guys.
Well,
Yeah.
Totally
all right.
up to
Well,
you guys.
it's the first half. It is what is it?
Talk
It's
about Ecuador.
September.
Yeah, there we go. We haven't
December
even talked about
10th,
Ecuador.
2024, and it's the first half of the podcast. Thank you, Mr. Producer, for staying on top of stuff tonight.
sir.
Check us out on Facebook and Instagram at Dudes Like Us -podcast. Dudes Like Us does woodcraft. If you want some swag for your place, a little lasering going on, we can matter. We got a machine downstairs that can do all that stuff. Dudes Like Us. I'm Sean.
I'm Paul.
I'm Jeff.
Stan.
I'm Nick.
Thank you guys. This is awesome.
That's
good.
Did you have
We'll be
fun?
right back.
It was good, right?
We're going to talk about more Celt shenanigans.